Good Erev Shabbos. Today we will not call our discussion something short and sweet. Just a few minutes ago, it was announced that Baruch Hashem, the hostage deal, will go through. As soon as Sunday, some of them could be coming home. Every Jew, every Jewish heart is filled with emotions. The joy of our brothers and sisters treated so inhumanely in such a terrible situation for such a long time, coming home to their families. At the same time, we think of the soldiers, those that have been killed, those that have been injured, the families, the shikulim, the bereaved, people who have been hurt so deeply. And we wonder, is this the victory which justifies going into Gaza in the first place? We look at the deal and we ask ourselves, who's the perpetrator? Who's the victim? Who is the victor? Who's the vanquished? There is a small piece in the writings of Reb Zalman Sorotzkin in this week's Parsha that I think helps us, gives us a way forward, way we can think about this. And additionally, it's the model for just a beautiful tefillah. And this is what he writes, Reb Zalman Sorotzkin. Moshe Rabbeinu, a little boy, he's put in the basket, he's put in the Nile. His mother can no longer protect him, and this is what she does in desperation. And Bas Paro comes down to the Nile. She's going to bathe, and she sees this basket with this child. And she tries her best. She stretches out her arm, and she takes him. And that's where Reb Zalman begins. Batikacheha mikan. From here you learn sha'afilu b'shas hereg va'avdon klali. Even in a situation where there's death and there's destruction, and it's so wide, it involves so many people. We shouldn't withhold ourselves from saving even a small amount of people. She came down to the banks of that river. She must have seen thousands of children in there. What was she going to do? She couldn't save all of them. She couldn't even save many of them. And nevertheless, she didn't stop herself from saving one singular soul. Let's rejoice. Those people who are saved, those people, even if they do trickle out in a cruel sort of way, let's rejoice with each and every one of them. But what happened with this one out of thousands? This individual, it turns out that he was one in a million. He was without peer. Lokam Kamoshe. There was nobody ever like Moshe Rabbeinu. He quotes a medrash that when Moshe Rabbeinu was saved, somehow Moshe Rabbeinu saved all of the rest of the children that had been drowned. Imagine the scene in the movie. Moshe Rabbeinu is saved, and all of a sudden all the babies are saved. V'lo od. And not only that, Ela shehela es Yisrael mi beis avodim. It was this one child, one among thousands that was saved, that was able to bring Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. Ultimately was to be the Moshiach Shel Yisrael. He was going to save Klal Yisrael, bring about the Geula. Let's look at this deal and let's pray that as these individuals come home, so may they all come home. And may there come about a tremendous Hatzalah for all of Klal Yisrael. And may ultimately we see from this Hatzalah Porta, from this small amount of saving, may we see, Be'ezus Hashem, the redemption of all of Klal Yisrael.